Yo, I come from a small city where nothing is handed. Took my talents and made them work for me, look where I landed. I know a lot of those out there really don't want me having it. They just mad that I'm creeping on them and they had advantages. See, when my voice is on, I let my voice be the change. Put it in these communities, let it give them some range. Let them know that they got a shot at anything they want, and it ain't all about the teaching, but really how they responded. And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world is smiling out of your media. The others tell it, but they truth have some limits. Got some limits. We got that food for soul, know what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it. Unapologetically progressive in efforts to fight for the people. Gotta exercise our voting rights and then push the needle on the lead. Push the message, I am willing to bleed. I gotta get what I need. That's social reform, that's prison reform. I'm highly informed, don't put down a pen. I got a list, I can't resist. I preach until I talk with a list. And who you know gon' give it to you like this? And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world is smiling out of your media. The others tell it, but they truth have some limits. We got that food for soul, know what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about right here. KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show, the whole 9 in the nighttime, right at 9. As I'm sure most of you are already aware, today is Election Day, and we've got you covered on the coverage every hour of the broadcast tonight, as usual. Not only will we be keeping you informed all throughout the show on what's happening, but we will also be hearing from Areva Martin and Dominique DePrima live from Karen Bass for Mayor Election Night headquarters. Numbers just came out. I'm honored to have the privilege of speaking with two perennial scholars within the LA political scene and to talk to them both about the history that could be made here in Los Angeles if Karen Bass is elected mayor and other election day political races and ballot measures that we are tracking here at KBLA Talk 1580. That's all night tonight, Areva and Dominique live on location right here at KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. But right now, in the meantime and in between times, the conversation continues. If you missed last night's riveting episode, you bore witness to some high-energy discourse between myself, Queen Robin, our faithful followers on our socials, and our always compelling callers that needed to sound off on the controversy surrounding NBA star Kyrie Irving and his senseless sauntering into the waters of anti-Semitism. And to a lesser extent, how Kanye West is indirectly holding hands and Skip to Malouing right next to him. We took you through the timeline of his problematic promotion of the documentary entitled Hebrew to Negroes. Those are the ones that grew faster. Wake Up Black America, a 2018 film that claims to prove that certain people of color, including Black Americans, are the true descendants of the biblical Israelites. A film that also alleges that Jews have conspired to oppress and defraud Black people, including through the transatlantic slave trade, and that Jews have falsified the history of the Holocaust to contain their nature and protect their status of power. This is all according to the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. And if last night's show was any indication, it proves that many of the Danny Mo Show congregation were in eager anticipation of engaging in some contentious conversation that came crashing down just as fast as its precipitation is currently peppering the roof of this Black-owned and operated talk radio station. It was a doozy. Which is exactly why the conversation continues tonight. Because one show simply wasn't enough. The powers that be are seemingly demanding that we continue the discussions. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Look it up. But if you heard my opening monologue and all throughout the broadcast last night, you heard me say that I have issue with how frivolous Kyrie Irving was with his reputation and with the bag. We don't need to delve further into my feelings toward Kanye, because I wrote Mr. White Lives Matter off back when he was genuflecting and kissing the flat and flabby buttocks of Toupe Fiasco within the walls of the Oval Office back in October of 2018. They probably even considered changing the name of that room to the Oval Orifice after Kanye West left the building, but I digress. But as I mentioned last night, I believe that Kyrie Irving is a case study on what happens when some of us, not all of us, some of us, find ourselves foolishly trying to punch above our weight. You start to get over your skis. You start to read your own press clippings, and how some of us can even start to believe our own hype. But due to the fact that I never got the opportunity to break down my panoramic perspective of the unpredictable point guard last night due to the influx of fantastic phone calls from all of our beautiful listeners, which, by the way, is always welcome and appreciated, I never got the opportunity to illustrate the second half of what I see surrounding the controversy of that cat named Kyrie. Although I may have strong criticisms of that cat for apparently not grasping a full understanding of the societal position that he's in, I myself don't grasp a full understanding of why his superiors are seemingly pushing him further down the rabbit hole in an attempt to make a mockery and to make an example out of him. And I gotta give props to Nick Cannon. Yeah, Nick Cannon, for articulating part of my argument on the To Hate or Not to Hate podcast just yesterday. I in no way believe that Kyrie Irving is an anti-Semite. And not because he's black and black people can't be anti-Semitic like many of you are trying to espouse. It's simply because Kyrie explained to you during his press conference that he simply is a black man seeking answers about his heritage. And shockingly, multi-hyphenate star Nick Cannon may not have time to put on a Jimmy hat while continuing to make these babies, but he did find the time in between conceptions to put on a hat and drive down to the ADL to make these comments about how any criticism of the Jewish faith seemingly leads to a slave mentality perception. Listen.
I can wholeheartedly say I know Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic.
When given the chance to say, are you anti-Semitic enough, he didn't say, no, I'm not anti-Semitic. At the press conference, tell us about that movie, why he did. He said, stop dehumanizing me. And the movie is saying white Jews invented the Holocaust, and 6 million Jews didn't get killed. Okay, I know that isn't right.
Right.
There's a gigantic historical record. Jewish people know when you dehumanize us this way, we know what's around the corner.
So in that same statement as those are the tropes that dehumanize Jewish people, the same buck breaking.
What's that? I don't really know what that means, to be perfectly honest.
The slave masters would bring the buck, the one that gets out of line. So all the other slaves would see lash after lash, showed them the power to set an example. This is what you must do to fall in line. So when we see the 6 things that Kyrie must do to get his job back.
Dehumanizing is right. Kyrie Irving was wrong, but black people speaking out against the Jewish faith appears to compose the same old song. I haven't seen the doc myself, I'll be honest, and almost did today until I saw that the watch time is a mind-boggling 3.5 hours, and your boy just ain't got that kind of time, especially for a documentary long on content, yet loose with the facts. The Holocaust didn't happen, y'all? Come on, full stop. The crisis of humanity can never be questioned by us. But you all can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that many of us are troubled by the fact that there is a whole history of white people who weren't subjected to the same mandates and expectations that Kyrie is being subjected to for simply sharing a documentary. And one might surmise that Kyrie's crime is far less race-weighty, if you will, than his melanin-deficient predecessors, which only lends more credence to the narrative within the black community that Jewish people are in charge of the media and wholly in charge of the zeitgeist at the same time. Take Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver Riley Cooper, who was caught on tape using the N-word at a Kenny Chesney concert back in 2013. Remember? Listen.
I will jump that case and fight every year, bro.
Hard R for sure. That incident took place in 2013, yet Riley Cooper signed an extension deal valued at over $25 million for 5 years, with $8 million fully guaranteed a year later. I don't recall hearing a mandate. How about Hulk Hogan? I brought you all this content before, but not only did Hulk Hogan use several racial slurs in one of his 2012 sex tapes with Heather Clem, not only did Hulk Hogan blast a black billionaire guy, quote unquote, who offered to finance his daughter Brooke's musical career, he did oh so much more. Listen.
In 2006, a sex tape featuring Hogan was recorded.
I mean, I'd rather, if she was going to some, I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot tall
worth $100 million.
On said tape, the wrestling icon delivered a racist rant about his daughter and her relationship with a black man. In addition to using the N-word multiple times, Hogan confessed that he was, quote, a racist to a point.
I mean, I am a racist to a point. But then when it comes to nice people and whatever.
The National Enquirer and Radar Online exposed this racist tirade in 2015. The WWE subsequently fired Hogan, although Hogan's people claim that he resigned.
Oh my gosh, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm a nice guy. It's not, the Hulk Hogan that rips the shirt off and bangs and slams giants.
Hogan has since apologized, asserting what was heard on the tape was, quote, inconsistent with his own beliefs. But for now, his career and public image seem to be down for the count.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
It destroyed me. I mean, I don't know how to say it other than that.
Let me tell you something, brother. Is that right, Andy? Let me tell you. You gotta do your fingers like this. Let me tell you something, brother. You are a racist wrestler like no other, brother. After the controversy, the WWE would delete Hulk Hogan's name and legacy from the mindshare of their brand and history. And 3 years later, Hulk Hogan would proceed to be reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame all over again with no mandates. Interesting, huh? And then there's, of course, Mel Gibson. Back in 2010, which, by the way, I think that he's the king of the racist comments, by the way. Back in 2010, the Oscar-winning director and actor caused a media storm for using a racial slur during an argument with his former girlfriend. Mel was recorded telling his ex, Oksana Grigorieva, with whom he was battling in court over custody of their infant daughter, that the way she is dressed made her look like a pig in heat. Yeah, that's what he said. But that's not all he said. Listen.
I don't walk around in tight clothes. I stay at home for most of the time.
Public, and it's a embarrassment to me. You look like a on heat. And if you get raped by a pack, it's your fault. All right? Because you provoked it. You are provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs. You feel you have to show off in tight outfits and tight pants so that you see your from behind. And that green thing today was enough. That's provocative. Okay?
Okay? If you get raped by a pack of N-words, it will be your fault. End quote. Jesus, Mel Gibson. No pun intended. And Mel is still out there acting. He was in Expendables 3 back in 2014. He was in a movie called Dangerous just last year. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't recall a mandate being handed down from movie executives for Mel to have the privilege of returning to the studio lot. I guess full-throated racism against black people isn't quite the career lethal weapon that we thought it would turn out to be, huh? In conclusion, I say all that to say this. We never see ownership and executives of any kind asking white people who are caught making clearly racist statements about black people, ever. Yeah, there are instances where a few celebrities have sat down with Al Sharpton post-racist rant, and some have even met with the NAACP. Some have even donated to their nearest Negro nonprofit. But you have never seen nor heard a mandate that is comprised of a series of steps handed down publicly to a white celebrity for speaking ill of my people, black people, ever. And that is exactly why many of us are up in arms over Kyrie Irving being forced to tap dance and sing, much to the delight of the man who controls the purse strings. And we can't help but think that this is clearly a modern-day example of buck breaking to put black celebrities on notice that anyone that denigrates the Jewish faith in public will ultimately be left shaking from their undertaking. But that's just me. Tell me what you think, LA. Same as last night, part G. Have you seen the documentary in question? It's called Hebrew to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. And apparently it's on Amazon Prime. Have you watched it? What you think of it? And do you think it holds any significance? And why is Kyrie being mandated to go through a series of steps to return to the Brooklyn Nets when there is a whole host of white folks that didn't have to do the same thing to return to their careers? Some apologized, some sat down with black leadership, some donated, but none were publicly given a mandate to re-engage. What makes this situation different? I think we all know. Holla at your boy. Your voice is changed, voice community. Your voice is on 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. You can also stream us via the brand new KBLA streaming app on your app store, iOS or Android. It don't matter. That same app allows you to send me your questions and comments that I will answer live at different intervals throughout the broadcast. Plus, like, share, and follow your favorite radio station live on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KBLA 1580. Feel free to follow me at Danny Mo Show on those same platforms too. Plus, me and my nighttime partner in crime, Robin Ayers, will take your comments via the ecosystem of our social network. Check this out. When we come forward, I will add that 7 series I tried to do last night to the topic of conversation tonight. 7 fair questions involving the Kyrie Irving controversy. It's coming. Add to the conversation with the phone calls when we come forward. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show on unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Let's ride.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles, midday to nighttime. Like George and Weezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
So you tested positive for COVID. What's next? Treat yourself. There are free COVID treatments available. Taken by pills, these medications can stop the illness from getting serious. So treat yourself. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to find free treatment today. Again, that's 833-422-4255. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell. You know, the fries covered in bold Mexican spices you dip in a warm nacho cheese sauce. You can also dunk them in nacho cheese sauce or pour the sauce onto a pile of them and create like a nacho fries nachos. The thing is that you eat them with nacho cheese sauce. That's what makes them nacho fries. Otherwise, you're just eating fries and sipping on nacho cheese sauce, and that's the wrong way. Sorry, just really passionate about nacho fries.
Nacho fries are back, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation with stores.
Culture and community. The Rodney King Foundation works in the community to promote positive race relations and achieve social justice. The foundation provides advocacy, educational scholarships, and the powerful Walk in Love initiative. The Rodney King Foundation seeks a world of hope, tolerance, and social justice, where divisiveness has been overcome and all people live together peacefully and harmoniously. Executive Director, Founder Laura King is striving to enhance the community's self-esteem, health, social services, and social justice locally and worldwide. The foundation is dedicated to continuing the message of Laura's father, the great Rodney King, to promote peace and #GetAlong. For more information, please visit rodneyking.org or call 626-541-2907. This is a community call to action from KBLA.
In recent editions of the Los Angeles Standard newspaper, read about HBCU's impact in Los Angeles. The Screening Room LA meeting at the Gathering Spot in West Adams, giving black filmmakers a place to showcase their work. To codename Crenshaw Boulevard, Malcolm X Boulevard. Hotville Chicken brings Nashville hot chicken to the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza. The Engineer Factory, preparing black children for STEM majors and professions. Jan Perry addressing the homelessness and housing crisis as she runs for Congress. Shauna Charles, career in public relations. Local black hiking groups, and Los Angeles Philharmonic Inglewood headquarters hosting free music classes for local children. Read about these stories at LAStandardNewspaper.com and follow the black-owned publication on Facebook and Instagram.
Have you heard it?
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Broadcasting live from the KBLA studios in Leimert Park, California, and now streaming live on the KBLA Talk 1580 YouTube page as we speak. What's up, people? I see y'all. How y'all doing? Good to see y'all. I'm not here to tell you how to think, but I'm here to tell you what to think about. We black in the spot, another episode of the Danny Morrison Show. KBLA Talk 1580, first on the scene, so fresh and so clean. Let's check in with the soaking wet queen. She's your queen.
Legitimately soaking wet out there.
It's pouring out there, huh?
It's just so bad.
Really, really rough.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's going through, like, on the freeway, there was like maybe a 30-second portion of buckets just, and then, another 10 minutes later, it's pouring down again. It was just so weird. It's very strange outside. California, we ain't about that life.
You took the words right out of my. We're such babies.
We are.
I look at what's going on in like Colorado and New York, and they're having all these flash floods and snow and stuff, and we get a little bit of water.
Yeah, exactly.
It's World War III.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the weather out here. It's like California cold. We're in like the 60s, 50s, 60s. We don't know how to take it.
It's gotta be 65 degrees. That is so true, right? When do you put a jacket or a sweater on? Like what degree, what temperature? You put a jacket or a sweater on?
Well, I'm pretty much only wearing sweaters. I'll wear a hoodie, and that's probably the extent of it. I went out to vote, obviously, today, and I was like, it must be freezing outside because I saw people wearing big coats and stuff, and I was like, it must be freezing. So I step out of my car, and I'm like, are y'all serious? It's literally, it's funny. But I only wear coats when I travel.
So you never do in LA, ever?
Hardly ever, unless it's raining and I want to keep. That wasn't the case for me, but usually it's just a hoodie.
So you come in, I was like, man, Robin, you either really
you
perspiring like crazy or it's raining.
No, it's definitely raining outside.
I do have that effect on women when women,
It's not on me. It's not on me, Danny.
You say, not me, D. What's going on with the Rob Report today?
I wanted to talk about something that I came across on social media, of course, today, and you heard about the term gentle parenting?
Of course.
Yeah, it's a thing, right? It's really a thing, and so I want to delve into that a little bit based on something that I heard today, and then it's funny because I brought this subject up with AB when she was the guest host for me last week, and so we talked a little bit about gentle parenting then as well, so I want to get into that a little bit.
Rob Report coming up at the top of the hour, and don't forget the third hour, we might bring you a few more of the Upon Further Review clips you all have sent us over the past few days, clips that extend the conversation on some of the topics we've touched on recently on the Danny Mo Show. I think we got to these on Thursday, but maybe not. Did we get to the Farrakhan clip? In the Chameleonaire clip? We never did.
No, I don't think we did.
So we'll do it today. The first is a clip from Chameleonaire, hip-hop artist Chameleonaire. But he's talking about how the music industry is designed to rip artists off and backed it up with his own personal experience. In the wake of the Kanye West nonsense is pretty eye-opening. I'll bring you that. The second clip has been sent to me four now, different times. It's the clip showing Minister Farrakhan breaking down the advice he gave Michael Jackson regarding his relationship with the Jewish community. Y'all gotta hear it. It comes from Farrakhan. You know it's eye-opening. And last but not least, it's a clip regarding braids. How long have we been trying to play this clip?
I know. It's been like
a
2,
week?
3.
It ain't been no 2-3 weeks.
You sure?
Maybe 2.
At least 2.
Could be 2.
Yeah.
I'll bring you that as well. There's a listener, a beautiful young lady, who says that my hairstyle that I wear holds historical significance. It's tied to the ancestors.
I believe her.
You believe her?
Yep.
Okay. That's our Upon Further Review clips, all coming up in the third hour after the Rob Report. In the meantime and in between time, make sure you follow us on all socials. Like, share, comment. Most importantly, tell your friends and family. Do the same. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, too. Also, remember to download that KBLA app, Gaining. The more people have been checking it out and listening to the show. You can listen to the show via the app. You can listen via YouTube. You can listen via the frequency. You can listen via the website. You ain't got nan excuses anymore. None. But cop that app if you're scared to call the show. Q's on the phone right now. He ain't never scared. You can use the open mic feature on the app, and you can talk to us that way as well. We just might play the audio over the air. That is the KBLA app exclusively from KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about, and check this out one more time. Today is Election Day. We got you covered on the coverage of every hour on the broadcast tonight. Areva Martin, Dominic DePrima, live from Karen Bass from Mayor Election Night headquarters. After the bottom of the hour, we have got Dominique coming in to break it all down, and I'm hoping she got some good news to bring us.
I really hope so.
Numbers looking good.
All right. I'm hopeful.
We will see. And we got Dominique coming in next hour, and we've got Aretha Martin coming in the 11 o'clock hour all night tonight live right here at KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. We're discussing part 2 of the controversy surrounding Kyrie Irving and Kanye West to a lesser extent. Do you find it interesting that Kyrie is being asked to jump through hoops to be able to return to the Brooklyn Nets when there's a whole gamut of white celebrities who made far worse mistakes against us and never had to follow the same path? I go straight to the Queen. Miss Queen Robin, is this racism?
Okay. I pulled up some facts.
Come on, let's go.
I'm sorry, hold on. They closed out on me.
It's all good.
Mr. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA.
Great
the reason why, although, let me just be clear, I'm one of the people who says that I don't like how Kyrie handled the situation. I don't like that he posted that movie, of course, with no further explanation of what he meant or anything like that, backing it up. But I don't like, and I also don't like how he handled everything moving forward. I do, though, believe at that very first press conference that he answered the question. It just wasn't satisfactory to anybody else. With that being said, I have to go back to Silver and just say, you know what, if this is the same man who, and first of all, Jewish American, he's born into a Jewish American family, so let's just be clear, I'm sure that he felt probably some way about that. But if this is the same man that in 2014 forced Donald Sterling to sell the Clippers because of his, then he's still being true to himself by making Kyrie go through what he's going through. So I have to say that it seems like it has to be fair then.
Let's not forget Phoenix Suns are going through the same thing right now.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
I didn't. So that's just pertaining to the NBA. I'm just saying that to say he's really holding true to his own beliefs then. I mean, if he's going to be one way with Donald Sterling, then he's going to be that same way with Kyrie. But not to that extent, right? He's just making him go through a lot more. But with the other people, I'll explain it on the other side because I know I want to fully get into it with you.
It sounds like he's being consistent.
He is. That's what I believe.
Gotta give him credit. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we will talk to the Dominique Prima from Karen Bass headquarters, and we'll also get the rest of the story from Miss Queen Robin. We'll also take some phone calls. Q's been on the line for a little while. We'll do that as well. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Right now, news and traffic. Come on.
Right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Stevens with an election update from the Black Information Network. The counting is still going on in various races, and there are still outcomes to be determined. Here is what we know for sure. These are all final results involving black candidates. Democrat Wes Moore is the first black governor in Maryland. He beat the Republican in a landslide. Letitia James, Democratic African-American Attorney General in New York, has lost her race. She is one of the main prosecutors of Donald Trump. Black Republican U.S. Senator Tim Scott victorious in his race in South Carolina. African-American Democrat Val Demings has lost her bid to become U.S. Senator in Florida. For several other important races that will affect the balance of power in Washington, counting is still going on, and African-Americans are still in the mix in several of those contests. I'm Mike Stevens with an election update from the Black Information Network. Another update coming shortly.
In these inflationary times, you need a good value, especially when it comes to fuel. Lava Propane gives you 2 extra pounds more than other companies who short fill. Holidays coming, it's time to check propane tank levels. Visit lavapropane.com for value and location.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
As long as NFL owners have nobody to answer to, the league will continue to have an embarrassing shortage of black head coaches. Only 3 of the NFL's 32 teams have a black head coach, and one of them, Carolina's Steve Wilkes, is working on an interim basis. The Indianapolis Colts hired Jeff Saturday, a TV analyst, to take over the head coaching duties after Frank Reich was fired. fired on Monday. Saturday played 13 years for the Colts, but he's never coached in the NFL. The Colts have 7 black assistants on their staff, including defensive backs coach Ron Miles, who has 32 years of coaching experience. Even when you do the math, it does not add up to fair opportunities in the National Football League. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call me your MVP.
This is a rather bold pronouncement, but we think we can back it up. If you come across a radio frequency anywhere putting more variety and more diversity on the air than KBLA Talk 1580, we sure would like to hear about your discovery. We got to have vision. You can search. We are confident that you won't find more shows covering more topics hosted by a more diverse and inclusive lineup of talkers than the squad we have assembled here at KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the time, brothers. This is the time.
We've got something for everybody. That's right. Health and healing, history and humor, issues and events, empowerment and entertainment, all in one station.
What's really going on? Free enterprise, you dig?
KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
King Kong ain't got on me.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Our team is in it to win it, and we'll fight to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 3 MVP-WINS for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call me your MVP.
Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Spa Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talents, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come on! No, you didn't!
Get out here, yeah. Big Daddy Kane.
Lean on me.
Lean on me. From the original soundtrack of the movie Lean on Me. One of my favorite Big Daddy Kane tracks of all time. Let's go.
Can I get a yes? No. Why? I ain't happy, cause I think that for these troubles to grab me, and they've gotten a hold on me.
My oh my, things ain't what they used to be.
Looks to me like each side got problems.
Now it's time to see what we can do to solve them.
Change for the better, letter.
New rule reinforced the school so we can get redder. All the bad apples in the bunch. Clean up the halls and cook better lunch.
The students in class where they should be.
Stop roaming the halls and hood we please. Eliminate the drug situation. Stop smoking and get an education. Point blank, let's change the whole scenery. You need help? Lean on me, come on. Lean on me.
What do you do in a situation like this?
Get tough bullshit. Watch this. They wanna be garbage. It's up to you, so what you wanna do?
I prefer to learn, so this is for your own concern.
You gotta earn however the world turns.
Wake up and put some sense in your head.
Don't be misled, use your brain instead. Because a brother like me can't understand you playing yourself cheap like a soggy young pamper.
Since I'm around, I'm destined and bound to resurrect and perfect the entire school around.
Here's my line right here.
The class so large under Joe Clark.
I'm the head nigger in charge. Thanks for playing. Danny Morrison Show. KBLA.
Understand what this mean to me.
Wait a minute. Hide the kitties. That is such a good movie. Please tell me you know that song.
What?
I'm just asking.
Come on, don't insult my black card.
A little bit of Morgan Freeman.
Black intelligence there.
Remember that exchange, Robert Guillaume and
it was great. It was great. Actually, someone just did a voiceover. I mean, though it was funny, I'm like, leave it alone. Leave the classics alone. But it was funny.
You gotta leave them alone. Some of them don't hold up. Some of them movies back then don't hold up.
I know, very true. That one absolutely does.
That one does.
Yeah.
No doubt. And by the way, true story too.
Yes.
We are chasing Dominique DePrima. I tell you what, but in the meantime and in between time, let's just jump right to the 7th series. Andy, let's go. Come on.
One topic, 7 answers. It's time for the 7th series on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
You got that loaded for me? Check this out, y'all. 7 fair questions involving the Kyrie Irving controversy. Number 1, didn't he apologize? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn that I read the apology on Twitter myself and even saw the apology come from TJ Holmes' mouth on Good Morning America on my Twitter feed as well. Listen.
The latest now on Kyrie Irving, suspended by the Brooklyn Nets more than a week after he tweeted a link to an anti-Semitic movie and refused to apologize and disavow anti-Semitism. TJ Holmes has the story. Good morning, TJ.
George, right here with you yesterday talking about all sides put out a joint statement. Seemed to be moving on. I'm back today and he's suspended. So what happened? He was asked 2 questions at a press availability. 1, do you apologize? The other, do you have anti-Semitic beliefs? And in basketball parlance, he missed the dunk and left confounding answers here that forced his team back. Brooklyn Nets point guard Kyrie Irving apologized, but only after being suspended for at least 5 games.
But
the star posted on Instagram, I am grateful to have a big platform to share knowledge, and I want to move forward by having an open dialogue to learn more and grow from this. And to all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected from my post, I am deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize.
Now, some are calling that a non-apology apology. They want a more staunch disavowing of anti-Semitism. That's fine. But where was that same energy with all the people I told you about in my opening monologue, huh? Morgan Wallen, Paula Deen, Hulk Hogan, Mel Gibson, they have empty apologies too, but they were left alone. And that is the first fair question involving the Kyrie Irving controversy, Ms. Robin.
Yes, and I agree with you. However, I think they're sort of apples to oranges a little bit. Obviously, Kyrie being tied to such a huge organization the way that he is quite different than, let's say, Hulk Hogan, who is definitely an organization, but I think he was even removed at a certain point. Like, he wasn't necessarily actively, it's not playing.
Yeah, he had retired.
What's the word that?
But he was still.
Yeah, but slightly different. Let's take, what's the first gentleman?
And Mel Gibson was one of the biggest actors on the planet.
I get it, but okay, so there are a couple of things here. Let's just be clear, and I'm going to take this back to Adam Silver, right? You got to take a look at what we're expecting. We don't even own the companies or the organizations that these people belong to or that they're tied to, so we can't control that. What we're asking for is for these white people or whomever or Jewish people, whomever is over these organizations or company, what we're asking for them is to on our behalf to be just as upset as you are with someone like Kyrie. Or you get what I'm saying? Yeah. As Adam Silver is trying to hold Kyrie Irving accountable. That's what we're asking, and I think that's impossible to do. When do we You know, I mean, I guess we're it's a constant, like a work in progress. When are we going to be owners like that? Because that's the only way you're going to have real control to actually hold people accountable in that same manner.
We just got to say last night, until we own it.
Yeah. So we can be upset. We can be mad at the fact that nobody is holding them accountable. Yeah, they might it's going to affect their career in some way, and we might be upset. You know, we might get an apology. Like Paula Deen, I think her career was pretty much lost after that. So, I mean, there are some consequences, but we're talking about their superiors holding them accountable. We can't necessarily ask that of them if we're not the ones who own the company.
Very true. Love it. Here's number 2, okay? Why was he given a sequence of steps to come back to the team? We broke it all down categorically. Apologize and condemn the movie, $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes, sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training, meet with the ADL and Jewish leaders, meet with Joe Tsai to demonstrate understanding. Has this ever been done? Has someone ever been accused of racism and been given a series of steps to jump back into their careers by their authorities? Isn't Morgan Wallen on tour again? As we speak, what steps were they given before given the opportunity to perform again? I'm willing to bet none. And that is the second fair question involving the Kyrie Irving controversy.
Sure. Let me find out, what did Nick Cannon have to do in order to get back in good graces with the company that he was let go from? He had
to apologize for sure.
He definitely had to apologize. And were there some sort of did he have to take any trainings or anything like that? I'm curious. I don't remember exactly what happened, but remember the same thing was basically happening to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah, we got to look that one up. I'm not totally sure what happened with Nick. I know he was apologizing.
He definitely did, which is interesting and ironic that he's the one who's standing up now for Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Here's number 3. Where is the black and brown connection now? Look, I have been an advocate for the Latino communities for years. Check my record. But I'm frustrated by the fact that every time a controversy surfaces that involves the black community, the brown pick up. Are we together or not? I need loud and brown voices advocating for us on these controversies and the controversies involving, like, the LA City Council. Don't make me look stupid over here. I rock with y'all, you know that. That's the third fair question involving the Kyrie Irving controversy. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
People like to toss out that, the black and brown, the black and brown, the black and brown. It seems like every time we go and do something, come on. What's that about?
That we're not speaking up loudly enough?
Like they're not speaking on our behalf enough. To me, publicly.
Brown.
Name a Latino that is speaking up for us right now within this controversy. I know we caused this controversy, don't get me wrong. But we don't have any advocates saying, no, Kyrie's a good dude. Or even Kanye, who I'm not sure Kanye's a good dude, but nobody?
That's true. I'm not sure if they think that this is their fight.
What about LA City Council? That is.
Yeah, I mean, we would totally, especially now, we would say that. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know why they're quiet on this.
Someone call me and tell me. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we jump back into the 7 Series Q. I see you, boo. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA, Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles, like George and Weezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Governor Newsom making kindergarten mandatory. Maisha Cairo here. It's your K-Black Minute News. The office of Governor Gavin Newsom released a list of bills from the current legislative session that he both signed and those that he vetoed. Among the bills vetoed was Senate Bill 70, which would have made attending 1 year of kindergarten mandatory beginning the 2024 to 2025 school year. Existing California law does not require children to attend school until they are 6 years old, the age that children typically begin first grade. Kindergarten is reported to help level the playing field for children who are less likely to receive high-quality child care or preschool. Parents and community members, what are your thoughts on all this? I'd like to know. Tweet us at KBLA 1580 #KBlackMinute with your thoughts.
Show them who we are.
KBLA Talk 1580 has not one, but two Black Panther Wakanda Forever weekend giveaways for KBLA Talk 1580 listeners. Friday, November 11th starts your weekend with a private screening of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Overnight stay at the W Hotel Hollywood. On Saturday, be our guest to the KBLA Wakanda Forever brunch and pool party. Win a KBLA Wakanda Forever weekend at the W Hotel Hollywood. It's simple to enter. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app and enter to win. Two winners will be announced Thursday, November 10th. Listen to KBLA Talk 1580 to find out if you will experience the KBLA Talk 1580 Wakanda Forever weekend. Starting Friday, November 11th at the W Hotel Hollywood. Black Panther Wakanda Forever private screening, dinner for two, overnight stay at the W Hotel Hollywood, brunch and pool party on Saturday. Download the KBLA app and enter to win the KBLA Talk 1580 Black Panther Wakanda Forever weekend. Black Panther Wakanda Forever opens November 11th in theaters nationwide, but there's only one way to win the KBLA Talk 1580 Black Panther Wakanda Forever weekend. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app and enter to win. The KBLA Talk 1580 Black Panther Wakanda Forever weekend is sponsored by Top Shelf Getaways.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Roll out. The all-new Gardena Nissan is proud to be a partner of KBLA, and right now, during their fall sales event, Zero Down delivers any new or pre-owned car at Gardena Nissan. They're located conveniently on Redondo Beach Boulevard at Western, and they specialize in helping folks out who have no credit, bad credit, bankruptcies, or repos. The folks at Gardena Nissan will take fantastic care of you and help you get into the car you need and deserve at a spectacular price. Visit them today or shop online at GardinaNissan.com. The all-new Gardena Nissan is proud to be a partner of KBLA, and right now, during their fall sales event, Zero Down delivers any new or pre-owned car at Gardena Nissan. For the best deals, log on to GardinaNissan.com. Zero Down on approved credit. GardinaNissan.com. Roll out.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, man, numbers are coming in. By the way, the L.A. mayor election results 2022. Rick Caruso, 50.3%, and Karen Bass, 49.7%. That's with only 28% of the expected votes in. Now, okay, it is a dead heat.
So close.
So close. But right now, we are inside the 7 series as we speak, talking about some Kyrie Irving. Let's jump back in here. We're doing 7 fair questions involving the Kyrie Irving controversy, and here's number 4. Have the Brooklyn Nets ever sought out mental health services for Kyrie? You know, I'm not saying he's crazy. He may not even need it, but what if he does? What if he's looking for answers but has no one else to turn to? What if he breaks away from the game of basketball and descends down a path that is harmful to himself and to others? What if we are witnessing a mental health crisis and refuse to see it? Who are his allies? And that is the fourth fair question involving the Kyrie Irving controversy.
I don't know. That might be a little bit of a stretch. Not to say that there isn't some validity there. I'm just saying it could be a stretch, and we don't know enough. I mean, I know that Kyrie has a past, and he's, sort of a free thinker or whatever, but whether we've seen enough of his, I don't even know if you would call these antics in order for us to make that sort of determination, or for that matter, the Brooklyn Nets to make that determination. Like, might need some mental health.
When you use the term antics, you're saying that he's intentionally doing this to rile people up.
Possibly. I'm just saying we don't know enough quite yet. And from the looks of it, it doesn't look that way because, I mean, look how fast he came back. And I know everybody is coming after him and it's hitting him in his pockets and this way, that way. I understand that. But it's not like a Kanye West, for instance, where there is a long track record of, antics.
Yeah.
And we know that there's some mental health issues there.
Those are definitely antics. And you and I were talking off mic is people don't understand that when he wore the White Lives Matter shirt when he was at the Paris Fashion Week, he wore it again to his daughter's game a few days later. He doubled down. So did Kyrie. Kyrie doubled down as well. Let's keep it real up in here. And then apologized when forced. So there might be something at play here as far as his mental health is concerned. But we have got to make sure we understand that these cats like Kyrie and Kanye, they might be going through a mental health crisis, and we just really haven't looked at it on his face.
I'm not sure. Kyrie, the double down is that it didn't suffice. His explanation of whatever he was trying to get across didn't suffice. It just wasn't enough for them. They wanted him to outright say that he was not anti-Semitic. That's what they wanted. He did not say that exactly. How he expressed it was, I love everybody. I love all religions. You can see that on my page. You can see that in my life. I love everybody from all walks of life. And then when they continued to press him, I think what he thought was sufficient wasn't good enough for them, and he was like, stop trying to dehumanize me. And so doubling down, it's not like he put something out and he was doubling down on a message of being anti-Semitic. It wasn't that. He was just trying to take himself out of it and doubling down on that part.
You can't start the fire and then get mad when it burns.
Okay, I mean, I hear that. I'm just saying, it's different than a yay doubling down on, wearing the White Lives Matter T-shirt after you know what it's causing.
Don't you hate that they're conflating those two situations?
I do, because I think they're just different. Yeah, I think they're different.
I guess I'm kind of doing it myself tonight. Here's number 5, okay? If Kyrie shared a video against MAGA Republicans, would he have gotten the same treatment? LeBron is pretty aggressive against Trump, and the league leaves him alone. So what would have happened if Kyrie had posted an anti-Trump movie, or an anti-Republican movie, or an anti-Southern white people movie? How about the Candace Owens doc? Same treatment? Or is this the type of aggressive pushback exclusive to the mistreatment of the Jewish community?
That's a really good question.
And that is the 5th fair question involving.
That's a fair question. I think that is a fair question.
Here number 6, Robin. So what will it take? This is more about business than it is about blacks and Jews. The people who control the purse strings don't want its employees disrespecting their religions. When will we finally get to the point, you made this point a few minutes ago, when we own our own? Teenage athletes to HBCUs. When do we start our own sports leagues? The Negro leagues were a thing, How about Ice Cube's Big 3 League, huh? When do we black people do business with black people and have the freedom to be ourselves in every way, shape, or form? And that is the 6th fair question involving the Kyrie Irving controversy.
I hear you, and I hear me, because I made that point. Exactly. I hear that point. The NBA is just a machine in and of itself. That's something that I don't know that we'll ever get around that. And so, we'll start having some owners. I think we already have some, but
Jay-Z's in talks right now to get into the NFL.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like I said, I think we actually have to spend just even a tiny bit of time on the fact that Adam Silver is consistent in how he handled the situation.
Yeah, we didn't break that down. Can you break that down real quick? Because I think you did it off mic.
Yeah, I think my thought is that he was consistent in that he sell the LA Clippers, and that was in 2014, for his racist comments. And that was just on us. That was towards us, for our people. Had nothing to do with anyone else. And he forced them out. And so if he's going to do that for racist comments, and pardon me for not remembering exactly. I remember it being a big thing, but I don't remember exactly what Donald Sterling said. I just know that it was obviously okay.
His half-black girlfriend was hanging around with Magic Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
And was very upset that she was coming to the games hanging out with Magic. And he was like, I don't care that you see those people.
Yeah, I do.
Just don't do it in public.
I do remember that. But my point is, if there's some, it seems to me that Adam Silver is being consistent. That he is now, requiring Kyrie to complete these 6 things. I thought it was 5 yesterday, but the 6 things in order to join back, on the early knock that. I can't say that he's being unfair per se to Kyrie, because look at the extent that you went to with Donald Sterling.
We cannot deny he's an advocate, because he got Donald Sterling out the league. The owner of the Phoenix Suns has been kicked out the league as we speak. He is an advocate.
Yeah.
So we gotta trust him. He's got some color capital on his side. Here's the last one, number 7. Okay, give me a little time. Why do we give so much attention to wannabe leaders? There's a large segment of the black population that possesses the legitimate and true leadership qualities that we should be following. Men and women that are on the front lines, that have devoted their lives to the betterment of black people all across this country. Black people that have educated themselves within the best institutions and have embedded that knowledge into the philosophies and principles they now use, and working to change the trajectory of impoverished black communities everywhere. And there is a minority within our minority currently referring to them as coonish on social media. We cannot fall into the same trap as MAGA Republicans. They are pushing back against education, and the mental state of their followers shows it. Let's not do the same thing. Lamont Hill was quoted as saying on Twitter a couple days ago, quote, I remain unreasonably shocked at how easily people accept misinformation, disinformation, if it's placed on a meme, chart, or a video. As educators, we have to do a better job of teaching people how to evaluate sources, assess information, etc., end quote. We got to give grace to those who have done the work and have made it their life's mission to be a beacon of light for our people. This chasm in the black community is troubling, and I just pray that we pull it together sooner rather than later. That's the 7th and final fair question involving the Kyrie Irving controversy.
Cool. I have such a good response for this.
To do it on the other side, right inside the Rob Report. KBLA Talk 1580 right now, news and traffic. Check it.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Stevens with an election update from the Black Information Network. The counting is still going on in various races, and there are still outcomes determined. Here is what we know for sure. These are all final results involving black candidates. Democrat Wes Moore is the first black governor in Maryland. He beat the Republican in a landslide. Letitia James, Democratic